now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
I've been asked to tell you that the following show is very scary, with stuff that might give your kids nightmares. You see, there are some crybabies out there who might be offended. If you are one of them, I advise you to turn off your set now. Come on, I dare you. Chicken.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Happy Halloween, Dan and Amy. We have the best Halloween party right here in studio, thanks to Sharon Peterson, who is a elementary school teacher and librarian by day and a wrangler of creepy crawlies by night. She's been trained by Bat Conservation International and the Conservation of Bats, IncredibleBats.com. Kim White is her colleague, and they are here with all sorts of things that are going to make Amy hurl. Sharon and Kim, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us, Dan and Amy. And
throw that thing at me.
So,
No.
the millipede, look at that. We got a millipede?
Yeah, this is an African giant millipede.
Yeah, get closer to
Yeah.
the
Yeah, put the millipede
Whoop, let
closer
me
to
get
the
this.
microphone.
And keep
too.
it away from me, please.
Stay true.
How many legs does that thing have?
Well, here's the interesting thing with the centipede. On each body segment, they have one pair of legs. And with a millipede, each body segment has two pairs of legs. A centipede is venomous, and the millipede is not. They
Well,
can,
that's good to know.
and don't worry, they cannot jump at you.
But you never know.
They
You
can-
never
We have no
know where
jumping
they're going to
animals.
show up.
And this is a really expensive creature, so I'm not even going to throw it at you, so don't
Okay.
worry.
If you put that on somebody's back, would it have a tendency to crawl into their ear hole?
Okay.
No, not at all.
What about up the nose?
No, wouldn't fit. No, wouldn't fit.
Now,
She's about 2 years old, and she's about 8 inches.
Uh-huh.
And she can live to be about 8 years old and get to be about a foot.
Oh.
And each time she molts, she will get a new body segment with 2 more pairs of legs.
Oh, it's
Legs for days.
That's
as we
nice.
say.
Legs for
Yeah.
days. And that's
Yeah.
why her name
Those
is
legs
Betty.
go all the way up.
That's why her name is Betty Grable.
Oh, of
Sure.
course. That's what I was thinking when I saw that.
Spitting image. I mean, the golden age of Hollywood is what I thought of as soon as I saw
I
the
think she's
millipede.
adorable.
No, it's
Yeah.
it's beautiful. And what do you do with the skin that's molts? Shoes, purse?
No, nothing.
Oh.
Barbie doll bag.
Now,
But, it's really interesting because when she walks on you, it actually feels
Oh.
like Velcro.
oh, really?
You
So
wanna
she
try it?
won't bite?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Here. Let's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Don't drop her.
Down goes Betty Grable.
No.
Oh, I'm gonna get
There
sick.
she is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
It's like a little hand massage, actually. It feels very nice.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're happy place.
Well, now, I just want to note for our listeners, too, I don't know if you know this, Kim, but there's some sort of dragon that's attached to you as well while you're playing with Betty Grable.
Yeah, it's a bearded dragon,
Mm-hmm.
and her name is Peach.
Okay.
She's one of our little animal ambassadors, so when we talk about reptiles, she comes to school with us for that.
Oh, so you go to schools and scare the children, not just Amy.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't scare, we educate.
Oh, I see.
Right.
I see.
Because
I see.
once you start to observe something, your fear lessens, and you start to really understand the animal.
And is that the bearded dragon, that lethal?
Not lethal
No.
at all.
No. Does it bite? Does it have any means of protecting itself? Or?
It can bite.
Uh-huh.
They can become what's called food aggressive. So if you just handle them when you're feeding them, then every time you open the door, they just think food, and
That's
they can
called mad.
lunge
Yeah.
at
I know.
you.
There's yeah.
There's the bat.
We have bats
Okay,
in
so
studio
Togo has
too.
to make himself known here.
All right, Sharon. So you're the bat wrangler. So tell us about the bats that are in studio.
Well,
here.
23 years ago, I saw a program at the Field Museum of Natural History called Masters of the Night, and I fell in love with bats. And I had my Girl Scouts do a presentation in our local library. And after that happened, they didn't want to do it anymore, but I thought, this is something I want to do. So I went out with Bat Conservation International to do a research project with them. I got certified in the conservation and management of bats, and 20 years ago, I got my first pair of bats, Egyptian fruit bats. I now have African straw bats, too. But 23 years I've been doing this. So nights and weekends, and this October, I had 46 shows just in this October.
gosh.
So between, I can't do them all being a school teacher. So my friend Kim here, my husband Dan, he's actually not here because he's doing a show right now at a school in Plainfield. But we've been traveling around. We traveled 12 states. Kim and I went and did a hummingbird festival in Mississippi this year. So we go to colleges, libraries, schools. I did a bar. I did the, what is it called? Top Fuel Saloon just a couple of weeks ago. I did that. So I go everywhere. Anyone wants to
The
learn about that.
occasional birthday party.
And the occasional birthday
Sure,
party.
ideal.
Jan,
Bar
there you
mitzvah.
I haven't done that yet, but I'm willing to.
But you started with bats, and now you have all of
We've
this.
expanded. Yeah, we've expanded. Because they want to pet everything, and I can't let people pet the bats. I let you touch them, but that's in a very controlled environment. But typically, I don't let the people pet my bats, but they want to pet other things. So I have a skunk, I have an opossum, I have sugar gliders, I have other reptiles now too. And so yeah, we've expanded a little bit. Just thing is, if people know about these animals, the more they know, the more they're going to want to conserve them, the more they're going to appreciate them. There's so many misconceptions.
Not to mention, I mean, if you're single, I mean, bat conservation could, you could
Right.
you could find love.
Right.
Like, you guys-
We're both married. We're both.
Well, I
married.
know, but I'm saying for like.
So maybe we can
because
get you into it
you
so
said-
that you can find love that way,
you
right?
said you and your husband do this together. So I'm
Yes.
like this. This is like the
It's
new.
it's a family affair. My daughter too,
Yeah.
who's a professional artist. She did my website. She does all my social media. She made that awesome video that I have about echolocation. And she's looking for work still. So anyway, she does all the things for me. So Juliet Backey, my daughter, she's awesome, and it's a family affair.
So Bat Conservation International, and again, you're certified there. So that led you. Does that incorporate other animals like we see here, or that's specifically to bats, and that just led you to do other
It's
things?
specifically to bats, exactly.
Okay.
And then it led me to other animals. So yeah, and then Kim worked at the Brookfield Zoo for over 20 years.
Oh,
and
sure.
so after we met, that's when I started expanding more into other animals. She gave me that confidence to get into more animals, and she's doing her own shows too. She's a natural naturalist. She's got her own website too, but she subcontracts for me basically.
And then now, as I understand it, bats are a delicacy at some other places. Bats, it's what's for dinner.
Yeah, that's one of the problems we have with bats. There's white nose syndrome is a problem that we're having.
White nose syndrome.
What's that?
White nose syndrome, that's a problem. That's a fungus that's been affecting caves, and it's spread throughout the United States, started in 2006. And what it does is it spores out in the caves while they're hibernating. It gets on them, makes them itch. They have to wake up out of hibernation to groom themselves. And when that happens, they lose their body fat. By the time springtime comes, they can die because they're too weak to fly out to get new bugs. So that's been a big problem. There's 12 species affected by that. So that's one problem. But where the fruit bats are, the flying foxes in the old world, the problem is that they're exposed. They hang out in trees just like our birds do, and because of that, they're very exposed. And so culling them, people think they're pests. Like in Australia, they've been just doing horrible things to them to get them out of the cities. That's where all the trees are for the bats. And then they also they poach them and they freeze dry them and sell them as oddities and do
gosh.
all kinds of horrible things to them. And then of course they eat them. So flying foxes, they're larger. And they're a food, anything for food.
But they're nocturnal too, because he seems
Right.
like he's a little bit angry that he has to be up at this hour, because they're a nocturnal animal.
They are nocturnal animals. Yeah, my animals are used to being in the daytime too. But like when I travel, as soon as I get back in the car, he'll fall asleep.
Right.
So yeah,
Sure,
But when
put
I'm,
on
But
some
they've got
Kenny
a bad
G.
reputation.
Yeah.
I mean, bats do. Like, watch out for the bat. But bats are good. Don't they eat mosquitoes and all-
right. So
They saved Gotham.
they did.
Yeah, right.
no,
as I
bats do.
recall.
That's the one thing that bats do. That's really great for our world. So the biggest thing is eating bats. Mosquitoes. One little brown bat can eat 110% of their body weight, like 6,000 to 7,000 mosquitoes per night. They say it was $3.7 billion in pesticide usage just in the United States alone for all the insects they eat. And then bats are pollinators. We wouldn't have tequila without bats. Bats are pollinators
Wow.
in the desert corridor.
Thanks.
So
Thank
Thanks
you.
for-
Thank
Thank
you.
you for helping me get my
Thank you.
drink
right?
on.
I mean,
Thank
come
you,
on
bats.
now. Yeah, thank you, bats.
All right,
so,
I have two things. One is I all of a sudden have a hankering for a margarita, but in addition to that, they eat that many mosquitoes. Do you think, maybe just an idea here, we have some financial problems in this region of the country.
I totally
Yeah.
agree. I live
So
there, yeah.
what about if we just got little uniforms for the bats and we replace the Cook County Mosquito Abatement Authority with the bats? Then we don't have no pensions. Is that a you could have, and you could, and we'll pay you to manage the
That'd
team
be
of bats
wonderful.
for the
I'd
mosquito
do that for
abatement.
free for our state. I would do that
All
for
right,
free.
just trying to think about public policy applications.
I have to. This fish is giving me the stink eye, and it doesn't look like. It
It's
looks
not
like
a
no.
fish.
It's a fish dog or something. It's got
So-
4 legs.
It's a salamander.
So one of the things that I like
Isn't
to
it?
talk about is biomimicry. And that
I
is
love that topic.
you
No,
know, bio, life,
Right,
mimicry to copy. So to look at nature and to see how it all works and fits together and how it does everything so elegantly without creating waste. So it's very sustainable, which is, those are some of the buzzwords. And of course, with STEM, we're talking about all these different things with how to improve our technologies in a sustainable way.
Well, that's fine.
And so I go into schools when kids are talking about their STEM projects, and the axolotl,
Which is a
this one right
Looks a
there.
little
What is it? Is it a-
prehistoric.
no, it
Well-
does.
Yeah.
And it's got a dragon. It keeps
Yeah, those are its
his
gills.
feathers. Those are his gills.
Its gills. So salamanders, when they first start off, like little newts, they have the gills, and that's how they get the oxygen. They pull the oxygen out of the water. But then most of them, as they grow, their lungs develop more, and the gills go away.
Some newts grow up to be a Speaker of the House.
There you go.
Hi-oh. Thank you so much.
And don't leave.
And so
Okay,
with
so-
this one, they stay in that form their entire life. They never complete that metamorphosis into having lungs instead of the gills. But they are like all stem cells. So they can lose a part of their body and regrow it.
Should we take off
So-
a leg and see what happens?
That's one of the things
They
I always
have
wanted to
done
be able to
that.
regenerate.
They've
They have?
actually done
Like a
that with
starfish
studies.
or some
So in
regenerative
studies,
quality.
they have actually taken off a leg and it regrows. But I saw one the other day that had 5 legs because it had an injury, like on its elbow,
Yeah.
and another leg grew out of that. Because I mean, they can even get a bite to the abdomen and lose part of their internal organs and regrow them. They can get a bite to the head and lose part of their brain and regrow it.
Okay.
So it's because of these that we have a better understanding of how stem cells work.
All right, we got the other cast of characters need their recognition here. So,
We have a tiger salamander.
He's beautiful.
and then
Isn't it?
what about the cockroaches?
I have hissing cockroaches.
Hissing cockroaches.
Madagascar hissing cockroaches. and
I don't have them.
see-
I don't really care for them.
All right, shh.
Oh, I've got a little.
Quiet on the set. Quiet on the set.
Let me see if I can get him to hiss.
Oh,
No, see, they're used to being handled a lot.
Stage fright.
yeah, yeah, that's
Oh, there.
oh, God. Oh, God.
Did you hear him hissing?
We heard Amy scream.
One of the hissing cockroaches made a play for Amy.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
They both took a flying leap out.
Well,
we got them
Tell me
both.
they don't jump.
No, they didn't. They crawled.
They were hissing it. They don't like the show.
They crawled. We need a little bit of excitement here.
All right. So,
there's
well,
the
you heard the
hissing
hissing cockroaches. Now we got a tarantula here in your
Yeah, I
hand.
have a Mexican red-knee tarantula. I want you to notice something. Do you see these 2 little legs here, how tiny they are compared to the other ones?
Yeah.
When
Let
she
me get a big-
molted the time before, what they do is they shed their whole skeleton. They have to shed the entire skeleton because they have an exoskeleton. So what happened was she lost 2 legs. Well, she survived. And then what happened was this time she just molted about a week ago or 2 weeks ago, she grew her legs back. So she will continue to, every time she molts, her legs will grow bigger and bigger until the normal size again.
Now, was that the tarantula that starred in that Brady Bunch episode when they went to Hawaii and terrorized Greg?
Nah, they can live long times. Females can live 25 to 30 years. Males only live 5 to 7, maybe a little bit longer, but about basically short time though.
But aren't
But
they
no,
poisonous?
not the same one.
Yeah. Could that spider kill everybody in the room?
Aren't they
no, it
poisonous?
can't.
It's not.
So some spiders have stronger venom than others, and so there are about 4 different species of tarantula that are great for pets, and they can be handled like this one: the Mexican red knee, the Chilean rose-haired, the Honduran curly-haired, and then the I think it's Brazilian pink-toed. Those are 4 different species that are more common in the pet trade. They're easy to handle. The thing is, though, if they don't like you or they're upset, they can throw hairs at you. So that's their defense. They take their 2 back legs and they kick the hairs off their abdomen. They throw the hairs. The hairs can be irritating into your eyes or your lungs.
Give you
so
irritating to watch that.
that's-
By the way, Brazilian Pinkto was my stage name when I started at the Copa. I don't know if you remember that. So can I? Do you have the anti-venom here in case it bites me? Can I hold it?
I can come on.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. All right, let me hold it.
It's really soft when she. Yeah.
All right,
Oh, yeah,
all
don't
right.
drop
It's
her,
very
Dan.
soft when she walks on your hand.
Oh.
All right, Dan's got it in his hand now.
Bite
Isn't
it.
she cool?
Bite him. Bite him.
And the cool thing is they have 2 toes in every foot, and they have little nails,
Yeah.
2 little nails too, so that they hold on that way, but you can like barely feel them.
I'd like to put them like a little leash and just walk around with them, or like a fair, put in my pocket and just
Would you
have
bring
this.
a doggy bag?
Isn't she beautiful?
She is. It's a
She's
beautiful.
very pretty.
It's a beautiful
Her
animal.
eyes are at the top by that little pink.
Where?
stripe
Yeah, I know.
there.
She's
Make-
giving me
make
this.
eye
She has
contact.
She's giving me the
spin a
stink
web,
eye.
too.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Spin webs too.
Hmm.
Yeah, she's
All
very
right.
cool.
All right. Let me
Here,
give
I'll
this
give
back to you.
Okay, here.
What felt better, the tarantula or the millipede?
You're cool. cool. You're cool with all these animals.
Yeah, I know. I'm much bigger and stronger than
there
they
you
are. I'm
go.
not
You
afraid of them.
can you can feel the millipede on you more.
Yeah, yeah.
Amy, do you want to hold the
No,
tarantula?
I'm good.
Amy, why don't you hold this
Nope.
python?
I'm good.
You want to hold the ball
No.
python?
Yeah, we got
Alright.
a snake here
okay.
too.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
a
so
ball
that's-
python. Her name is Lucille Ball.
Oh, I see what you did again. You guys
Yeah.
are creative and funny.
And just like Lucille Ball did, she kills.
Yeah.
I-
No,
And how
she's-
big is she gonna get?
This is as big as she'll get. So the last shed we were able to measure, and it's about 5.5 feet.
Now, why
Now-
is it good to have pets snakes? Because a lot of people
They're
have
not
them and they
pets;
don't.
they're ambassadors.
No, not,
Well,
These
but
are
people
our
do have them as pets,
ambassadors,
yes.
right? Everything that we have, really, except for the bats and another animal that I have at home, you can easily obtain in the pet trade.
okay.
So they're kind of like common animals.
Yeah, but what do people do with snakes?
Well, a lot of
Look
people
at us,
like them.
yeah, playing with them.
Well,
Yeah,
some
you
people
go out and play
with them.
toss, or you just like little animals, and then you watch them squeeze the life out of them, right?
You could, I suppose.
I mean, they got to eat.
Well, we don't like to feed live things to them.
Oh,
Really?
So you have a cache
No.
of dead animals for them to.
We
What are
have-
they-
You
yeah,
actually
we
can buy
have
dead mice and rats.
rats
Oh.
and
They're
stuff in
frozen.
the freezer, and we thaw
Oh,
them out.
mysicle. Yeah.
Because
Nice
if
appetizer.
we put a live rat in with her and she wasn't hungry, the rat could turn around and bite her and harm her.
Oh.
Mm.
So
I
we
see.
just feed. Yeah.
I got a
frozen
question.
thawed.
A question on another topic. So, do you know anything about slow lorises?
Yeah.
Oh my
a
God,
little
he
bit.
Do-
wants
yeah.
a slow loris.
I know they're illegal, but
They're
aren't they when she grabs that little ball of rice? Have you seen the videos?
I haven't
They're
seen
so
them.
cool.
What do
But
they do?
are-
but the problem is they're illegal in this
Why
country
are they illegal?
because they have a defense mechanism that can induce anaphylactic shock in humans.
Really?
Right, but any of those, it's a wild animal, and you shouldn't pull those out of the.
Maybe I
Not a
should
wild.
go
Some
to
of 'em are-
I should go across
And-
the globe in
and-
Southeast Asia and live with the slow loris instead if they can't live with me here.
Well, and you could.
Yeah.
You could. Well,
Maybe.
and the other thing too is with a lot of wild animals, we don't know enough about their care. So to bring them
Oh,
into
yeah.
captivity could be very, very harmful to them.
And you have also the bearded dragon.
Yes, Peach the bearded dragon.
All right, so we got Peach the bearded dragon.
Uh-huh.
We got
Lucille.
Lucille Ball
Lucille.
the ball python. We got
Lucinda, the Mexican red-knee tarantula.
Lucinda the Mexican. Wait, so the-
red-knee,
Uh-huh.
red-knee tarantula.
okay.
And then
the-
we've got
what are the
Betty
name-
Betty Grable is
The millipede.
the millipede. The cockroaches don't have a name.
That's okay.
The
wait,
tiger
wait a
salamander is
second. Why
tiger-
don't the
Cockroaches don't
Well,
need
'cause-
names
well,
because they're
because there
cockroaches.
was- you don't have
That's
like,
why they have such an attitude.
I know,
you
but
don't
I
even.
have like 40 of them.
Hey,
So
just
and
name
then,
them. Just do what George Foreman did. Just name them all George.
That's
well,
true.
we could. And then the axolotl.
This is a beautiful
That's that
creature.
The
prehistoric one.
axolotl. Her name is Sashimi.
Oh
Oh,
boy,
oh,
that's
wow,
gotta be.
that's-
That's like a
that's
sort of
gotta
Damocles hanging over her head.
Yeah.
That's gotta sting.
And then the salam,
the salamander keeps
Tiger.
yawning
It's
at
tiger.
me.
tiger.
Tiger.
Uh-huh,
Hi,
yes.
tiger.
All right.
And the bats are Togo, and I've got his son Zulu, and then I have Ramses with me.
So when you
my
go home,
Oh,
different
right,
fruit bat.
right,
He's
Ramsey's
an
very
Egyptian
good.
fruit bat.
is
Yeah.
there an area where the bats can free
So
freely
we
fly?
have in our homes we have enclosures for our animals. So my bats have a flight cage. My husband's a builder, Peterson's Construction, and he built this big garage for me, and my animals are in there. My car's never seen my garage, so my car gets snow on it every
So-
And it's a heated garage. I mean,
It's a
Oh yes, it's
beautiful
got heat,
heated-
humidity. It's got special lighting. So we have UVB lighting in there. So yeah, everything.
So Peterson Construction, for those of you in the listening audience who want to build a bat habitat in your home.
Oh, you
Oh
do.
no, he
Peterson-
does everything: siding, windows,
Construction.
decks, everything. He does
Okay,
all that.
all right.
Yeah.
all
Well,
right.
you
But
know
the
what-
bat habitat is.
And
Yes, he does that too. He
All
can
right.
build those. Yeah.
Sharon's bats are TV stars.
Yes.
oh, they are.
They were on
Yeah.
National Geographic. One Strange Rock that was narrated by Will Smith. They're in the second episode called The Storm.
Better
Yeah.
actor than Will
They did a
Smith,
whole
too.
thing on the African straw bats, and they make the largest mammal migration in Africa. And when they're doing that, they're eating fruit and dispersing seeds. So 95% of our rainforest areas are reforested because of bats. They spread seeds and reforest our rainforest.
There
Well-
are some seeds that have to pass through the body of a
Exactly.
bat to be able to germinate.
Right.
It's a wild, wild world out there.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like this segment is sponsored by Mutual of Omaha. We appreciate Sharon Peterson and Kim White and their cast of characters and
Ambassadors.
animals and species and kingdoms and phylums and genuses represented here. thank you so much for making our Halloween. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you for both having us, Dan and Amy. I listen to you every morning, and I'm just so thrilled to
Right.
be here. So
And,
thank you so
And
much.
to get more information, go to incrediblebats.com.
There you go.
Exactly.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is